Alright, y'all, UFC 311 just ended, and it was crazy. Today, I'm going to be going over what exactly happened in the fights and what's next for a lot of these fighters. So, let's just go ahead and get right into it. First up, we got Peyton Talbot versus Raoni Barcelos, and Peyton Talbot is officially a fraud. Alright? No, I'm just kidding. Peyton Talbot's not a fraud. He's still good, but this was quite a step up in competition for him. And you know what? He's still really young. He's got a long ways to go. He went against a veteran. He got beat up pretty bad, but I think he's going to come back better than ever in his next fight. I don't think that his career's over, but you never know. Maybe this is where the downhill starts. Maybe the hype was all fake, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Next up, we got Kevin Holland versus Rainier de Ritter. And Rainier de Ritter is officially not a slouch. He's actually good. In fact, he's a real contender at middleweight. Kevin Holland kind of was a little bit disappointing, but I mean, you don't really expect too much from Kevin Holland in his fights. He's either going to look really good, like the best in the world, or he's going to look disappointing. It's like a 50-50. And this just happened to be his disappointing performance. But Rainier de Ritter looked really good. I think he could possibly get up to the top five. I don't think he would win the title necessarily. I think it's a little too early to say that, but he looked really good. He looked aggressive. He looked powerful. He got that submission in real early, and yeah, he's gonna be a real contender. Next up, we got Jailton Almeida knocked out Sergey Spivak, and Jailton Almeida still looks great on the ground. Um, he's definitely gonna get up there in the rankings pretty soon. His loss to Curtis Blades was like he got knocked out by Curtis Blades, but he was dominating the fight up until that point. That was just kind of a slip up. I think he's still got a lot of ways to go. Jailton Almeida next. I'm not really sure who he should fight next up in the rankings. I don't think that you can give him a top five shot necessarily just yet. But I don't know. Maybe he'll fight down in the rankings a little bit, get another win under his belt, and then fight up. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. Next up, the man, the myth, Yuri Prohaska gets it done by TKO, knocked out Jamal Hill, and this fight was amazing to watch. Yuri was locked in that third round. He dominated. Jamal Hill actually looked pretty good in that second round. I would say he won the second round, but man, Jamal Hill got dominated in that third. He got dropped many times. You know, it looked great for Yuri though. I think next Yuri. Honestly, I think Yuri gets a title shot next because I think he's the best in the world other than Alex Pereira, and I think that he beats Magomed. I think Yuri beats Magomed because Magomed just had a super close decision, like a razor thin close decision against Rakic, who Yuri knocked out. So I think Yuri honestly probably beats Magomed. The only guy at the light heavyweight division that Yuri Prohaska loses to is Alex Pereira, and you know what? That's fine. Other than that, I think Yuri is the best light heavyweight in the world. Jamal Hill, I think that Jamal Hill should face Khalil Roundtree next. Honestly, other than that, I don't. I honestly don't think that Jamal Hill's ever going to get a title shot again, unless he goes on a tear in his next few fights. But I think that the Jamal Hill title hopes are starting to dwindle. But you never know. Maybe he locks in the future. But for now, I think that Jamal Hill's chances of winning the light heavyweight belt again are over. Yuri Prohaska's got a pretty good chance. If Magomed beats Alex, I think that Yuri will then beat Magomed and become champ. Alex, I think Alex Pereira beats Magomed, so that's probably not going to happen. I feel like the only guys that Pereira will lose to are if he goes up to heavyweight, he probably loses to Jones, and he probably loses to Aspinall. Other than that, I think Pereira will probably be around until he starts to fall off or if he retires. And until then, he's the best in the world. But the best light heavyweight in the world. But other than that, Yuri looked great. And I think he deserves either a title shot next or a number one contenders fight. But I would probably say he gets the title shot right away. After Poatan versus Magomed, he should get his title shot right away. Next up, we got Merab versus Umar. I picked Merab to beat Umar. Picked Merab to win the fight, and he did not disappoint. Umar kind of got ragdolled once the fight started to get forward. It was really close in the first couple rounds. Was really close, but then Merab just got his shots in. He started landing a lot of strikes, and then he just catapulted on, and it was over for Umar. He was getting dominated. Some people are saying that Umar got robbed. I predicted that some people would say that Umar got robbed in the decision, but I'm not surprised to see that. I know he had a broken hand after the first round, but Merab had a back injury like sometime during his camp. You know, injuries happen during fights. That's not a robbery because, I think even if Umar didn't break his hand, he still loses that fight. I do think Umar won the first round though, and maybe the second. But anyways, Merab still looked just as impressive as ever, and I think Merab is the bantamweight goat now. Other than Dominic Cruz is like the only other contender, but honestly, I think that Merab has cleared Dominic Cruz and is now the greatest bantamweight ever. Now, I think what's next for Merab, probably Piotr Jan, but after that, I don't really know because I don't think he's gonna go up to featherweight and fight Ilya. He's friends with Ilya. So I guess Piotr Jan and then maybe Pantoja, maybe O'Malley again. Maybe if another contender comes up, maybe even Jose Aldo again, if Jose Aldo locks in. I thought that he got robbed in the Mario Batista fight. So, I don't know. Merab's looking really good. I think he's the greatest bantamweight ever. I don't think he's going to lose for a minute. But Umar, I think next Umar should fight. Maybe O'Malley. That might be kind of a cool fight to see. Maybe Figueiredo, but maybe Figueiredo needs to get one more win before he fights Umar. Maybe Cejudo. There's a lot of options. Umar still looked good in the fight. He looked pretty good. He's obviously worthy of being up there in the bantamweight rankings, but he's gonna have to face, I would say, like maybe two more top 5 guys before he gets another title shot. So there you go. Sorry, Umar. And the main event, Islam Makhachev submits Moicano in the first round. I ain't gonna lie, Moicano was kind of piecing up Islam at first, and then there was that slip. I actually thought that was a knockdown. That was fun to watch. Moicano had a glimpse of hope for a second, but then as soon as it went to the ground, the fight was already over. As soon as Islam got that takedown, there was no escaping that. I mean, what's next for Islam? I would say probably Oliveira. If not, maybe Bilal. I know he doesn't really want to fight Bilal, but I think I saw somewhere that said that he was willing to fight him. I know they're kind of friends. I know Islam's also talking about going up to middleweight. I think it's a little premature to say that, but Islam is definitely the best in the world right now. There's no doubt. Um, Moicano, I think, should just fight Dariush next, the same fight that was planned to happen. Other than that, Moicano actually looked pretty good in the striking at first. That was pretty impressive, but Islam still got it done fairly easily. So there you have it. All right, y'all. That does it for my breakdown of UFC 311. Let me know what y'all thought, and I think later this week I'm gonna be dropping another tier list and my predictions for the UFC Fight Night. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.